Romans have recently arrived on the rank ladder, so now is a great time to review all of their technologies. Historically, their contributions have included sanitation, medicine, education, wine, public order, irrigation, roads, fresh water, and public health. So naturally, Roman children go to university, get drunk, get put in jail, go through a rehabilitation center, become a hydro homie, and finally pop out of the town center as a responsible villager. What that looks like in Age of Empires 2 is a 5% bonus to gathering, building, and repairing. Now 5% might not sound like much, but if you have ever played with the handicap setting set to 105%, you will find similarities. The Romans received 2 out of these 7 handicap bonuses. Now let's see all of those bonuses in action on my favorite map, Nomad. We will compare them to Persians, a top-tier nomad civilization. Here I have the same map generated twice in the scenario editor. The Persians have 50 extra food and wood per their civilization bonus. Recently, the bonuses of many civilizations were changed to only come into effect once the first town centers were created in order to better balance civilizations on maps with nomad starts. The exception is the Romans. This could be an oversight by the developers, but the Roman town center will be built a few seconds faster than any other civilization, including the Spanish. The build order on screen with each of these civilizations is a 3-dock galley rush. We work up to 6 on wood while keeping enough villagers on food to maintain constant villager production. After we have taken 3 boars, we build a mining camp on gold as our second feudal building. Both civilizations click up to feudal age at similar times. While advancing, another dock is added along with a lumber camp. The Persian town center and dock will begin to work 10% faster. A third dock is built after the first round of galleys is sent to explore the corner of the map. We will come back to these galleys later. Villagers are continually sent to wood until a blacksmith can be afforded for fletching. The last steps in feudal are to build a mill as a precursor for our market. Both civilizations reach the castle age around the 20-minute mark, with Persians reaching castle slightly later. If we look at the economy of each, the Persians look like they are ahead. However, if we rewind to the same point in both matches, you will see it was actually the Romans who were ahead by about 200 resources. Keep in mind, both build orders were done as similarly as possible to keep the test consistent. However, there are ways to better optimize a build order depending on the civilization. Persians, for example, do not need to take a boar as quickly given they have extra food at the start. Romans can also delay taking a boar, relying on the faster shorefish gather rate to sustain villager production. The villagers can instead be sent to wood to increase the fishing ship production. So if the Roman sandals can keep pace with the Persian economy, how does the rest of the match play out? In Castle Age, both civilizations would either favor attacking with cavalry and siege, or booming towards their imperial composition. But before we get to the late game, let's go back to the Roman galleys and how they match up against other ships. The Roman galley line receives 1 additional pierce and melee armor. In a 1v1 fight with a fire galley, the fire galley's attack does 1 pierce damage and 3 ship damage. The spreadsheet shows how the pierce attack deals no damage when up against the 6 pierce armor of a generic galley. All the damage from the fire ship comes from the ship attack, which does 3 damage. So the Roman galleys have no advantage against fire ships. In a 1v1 galley fight, however, the armor allows the Roman galleys to take 1 extra hit, but only after fletching. If we do the math again, we can see the ship attack is the source of the applied damage. Pierce armor does not apply until Roman galleys are attacked by galleys with fletching or war galleys. The Romans also have ballistas, a unique technology in Castle Age that provides +2 attack to their galleys. The technology costs 400 wood and 300 gold, about the same cost as 7 war galleys. So if we balance the fight by the cost of ballistas, you can see the Romans lose by a large margin. Ballistas is not significant enough in its current state to impact ship fights. Galleon fights are not likely to occur on Nomad, but it's worth mentioning the Romans are missing Bracer. To compensate, they should include some Dromons into their composition. For comparison, take a look at the Spirit of the Law video on Romans. So where do you think Romans fall on the Nomad tier list? I don't think I would be disappointed to play with some swords and sandals, but they would not be my first choice on the ranked ladder. Let me know if you have any interesting builds or strategies for the Romans, and I'll see you in the comments.